and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, and I'm going to continue to beat the drum. This is the time of the year when Penske picks it up, and it's week after week. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I will. I think we all kind of thought this, though. I think we all thought this was a realistic possibility because what we've seen from Penske in this next gen era. In the next gen era, every single year, it seems like late July, maybe August, maybe early September. Around that time is where Penske just really turn it on. And they were the best cars by far in Richmond. Blaney, very dominant early. He looked great. Cindric running in the top 5, top 10 all day. Josh Berry, I would consider him one of the better short track racers in our sport, running top 5, top 10 all day. And then, of course, we have even year, Smokin' Joe, Joey Logano getting another win. And all of a sudden, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Joey Logano potentially missing the chase a couple of weeks ago. Now he's in the top 10 in points. And I think he's already locked in, isn't he? Or like really close to being locked in if he's not. It's it's wild. It's wild what we've seen from Joey Logano over this last month. And Smoking Joe, he just might have enough momentum to go out there and win another title, win a fourth title. It's very possible with the momentum that he has and with how good Penske look at the moment. I want to get the boys' thoughts on this, a two-parter. I'll start with Tyler on this one, a two-parter here. First of all, Tyler, how did you feel about the race? Penske looked dominant. How did you feel about the race we saw on Saturday night under the lights? And then the other thing is Smokin' Joe, even year Logano. Joey might make a run here, Tyler.
So I'm gonna start off by saying I'm not gonna say too much on Joey Logano because I seem to be either the worst curse or the best curse, depending on who you are or what I say. So I'm not gonna say shit about Joey
He's like, I
Logano
ain't
because
touching
I
that.
don't want to be the problem.
He's like, I ain't touching that.
Not with a 10-foot pole because I can't stand that hairless little muppet. But anyway, when it comes to the race, absolutely great race. Great race. It would have been even better if we wouldn't have had stage breaks because it really would have shown the true strategy that was going on during that race because that race was fully old school racing. So, I mean, I kind of wish and like to think to myself that Bell would have won that if things would have been different, but it was what it was, and the Muppet got it, and we just have to deal with that.
Yeah, I definitely thought Bell had a good shot at winning it. That's just kind of his strong suit, are those sort of flat sort of tracks. I wouldn't say Richmond's as flat as a lot of tracks, but it runs very similar to a New Hampshire or to maybe a Gateway or an Iowa, which seemed to be Christopher Bell and Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano. I'd say those three drivers run those sort of places. You can throw maybe Denny Hamlin in there as well, especially pre next gen. Denny Hamlin is definitely in that. In the next gen era, I think Hamlin's maybe not as good as those guys, but he'd probably be that fourth guy in out of those sort of racetracks. So yeah, Bell couldn't get the job done, and I feel your sentiment. I feel your sentiment, Tyler. Like I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a Logano fan. I definitely like Logano a lot more now than I have in the past. But yeah, I don't want to see him win the title either. He already has three. I don't know if I necessarily want to see him win another one. But if he goes out there and puts on like a Jimmy Johnson sort of run here in the chase, or maybe Tony Stewart when he tied, it'd probably be more similar to Tony Stewart when he tied Edwards because Smoke didn't have a great year. Smoke was saying going into the playoffs, maybe somebody else deserves this spot. I shouldn't be here, but I'm here, so I'm going to do what I can with it. He ended up winning the championship. It could be very similar to that because Logano has honestly been ass cheeks 90% of the year, but this last month, it's Smoking Joe. Smoking Joe is back to play. It looks like. Cory, what did you think about this? First of all, what did you think about this race at Richmond? Penske put on a phenomenal performance all race long as a whole, including the Wood Brothers number 21. And then the secondary question, can Smokin' Joe legitimately go on a run and win a fourth Cup Series championship?
I think the Richmond night race on Saturday was awesome. Like that's exactly the type of racing we strive to see week in, week out is strategy, tire fall off, and just all of that playing together and see we got to see how big of an impact tire fall off and tire strategy played on Saturday, and it was awesome. Like, you saw people stay out an extra 5 laps and that be a huge mistake. And yeah, I know I loved it. I think for some people it probably could have been very boring again because you had all of Joe Gibbs up front and all of Penske up front, and it's felt like that for most of the year. But if you just enjoy racing and the sport in general, like there was so much strategy that the race was entertaining no matter who was out front. And for Saturday night, it happened to be Penske. It was Blaney, then it was Briscoe for some bits, and then it was Logano for a good, like, the last half of it, and he dominated that. I honestly thought it was you guys said Bell, but I think the only reason Bell was close is because of the different strategy. They felt like they couldn't beat him, and they had to do a different strategy. But
Yep.
yeah, I I don't think Logano has a chance, and I'm gonna hopefully I'm right.
Whoa.
I think what six out of the last 10
Calm
races are
down.
either mile and a halfs or a super speedway. He hasn't performed well there this year, so I don't. Maybe in the old format where you only have to win one race every now and then, he'd have a chance. But I think he's done.
I'm not going to count out Logano. I can't count out Logano. I've counted out Logano every single time he's won a championship. I counted out Jimmy Johnson multiple times and he ended up winning a championship. You can't count out Logano. You can't. There's a legitimate chance I feel like he could win a 4th title. I think there's a great chance he could legitimately win a 4th title. And I'm gonna watch Tyler squirm here for a second. Tyler, there's a legitimate chance that Logano can tie Jeff Gordon in championships this year. There's a chance.
I don't think I've ever threatened either one of you, but I swear to God, Corey, he wins a fucking championship. I'm taking you outside and I'm beating your fucking ass.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why Cory said that. I really don't know why Cory said that.
God, I would blame you directly.
When he said that Logano doesn't have a chance, I felt my skin crawling. Like, I was like, no. Oh man. But Logano's,
You know how much that would validate every championship he has ever gotten, and I can't have that in my life. I can't have that at all.
and if he goes
You know
on
how
a
much shit
run,
I'm talked.
if he goes on a run and wins this championship, Tyler, I don't think we could say that it was a bullshit championship either. You know, I don't think we could say
No,
that.
at that point we have to shut the fuck up, and I don't want to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, at that point, I don't think we could, I think we could maybe say that his other championships, obviously he played the system, you know, he did the system right, he did everything he was supposed to do, so I'll give him that credit. But you, from a certain angle, you can look at it as like, well, this guy was ass all year and he kind of fell into it, especially that last one, you know, depending on how you look at it, you can. But if Logano goes on a 10 race run with this current version of the chase and wins the championship, I don't think anybody could bitch about it. I don't think anybody can. And I hope it doesn't happen, mainly because, not because I don't like Logano, but mainly because of what I just said. He would tie Jeff Gordon in championships. He already has more titles than Rowdy, you know? I don't want, like, Jeff Gordon. You know, y'all know Jeff Gordon, right? The Rainbow Warrior? Yeah, that guy. Like, that would be insane. Insane. Because I consider Jeff Gordon to be the second best driver in NASCAR history, only behind Dale Earnhardt. So that would be insane to me if Logano can match that feat. Because I think they're, like, if I had to compare Logano and, like, Hamlin, for example, Hamlin with no championships, I think Hamlin's the better all-time driver. And that would be crazy. That'd be crazy. But if Logano gets the job done, goes on the run, congratulations to him and Paul Wolfe. And I'm not counting him out. Unlike Cory here, who might be the reason why he's going to be the new Tyler if Logano goes on and wins the championship because of what he just said. Because I'm worried now. I'm worried. But let us know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about the race at Richmond? I thought it was one of the best races we've seen at Richmond in a number of years. It felt like early 2000s Richmond to me, almost. Maybe not quite that far because of the track position thing and stuff, but close to that. And then also, how do you feel about even year Logano? Can he get another championship in an even year? It seems to always happen. He always seems to figure it out. But let us know your thoughts about all that in the comment section down below. And if you're a Joey Logano fan, we do apologize for this previous section.